Good afternoon. Good afternoon. First and foremost, go to my website, www.legislativeauthority2026.com. It's listed right there. Download the petition that's in the support section for how you can help. Also, there is a plan on the website, so people don't need to be concerned about how is this going to be accomplished. I put the plan there. If there are issues with the plan or you don't think it's granular enough, or you don't understand something about the plan, give me that feedback so we can make it work better. But the plan is out there and available. But right now, let's get on the same page. Leadership is telling everybody and making sure that we all understand what's going on. And sometimes it does sound redundant, but you're going to have to give me your time and your attention. First and foremost, never forget that we are currently under two emergency acts: the Emergency Act at the border and the National Energy Emergency Act. You got to understand, presidential powers that go to the executive department, the executive branch, they increase when you add a national emergency. They get more authority. Do you understand that? Now, if you don't remember the video that I did, and I need you guys to pay attention, because you have to put all of these dots together. You have to put them together. We're under two national emergency acts that gave the president additional authorities. Joint House Resolution 25. The Republican Party said, hey, we're not going to answer or remove. We're not even going to discuss being able to remove anything from these national emergency acts until a year from now. So that option is off the table. Now keep this in mind. You have citizens going to town halls, pushing their concerns, while the person they're pushing their concerns to knows that they have conceded, relinquished the power to pull things back because House Resolution 25 was passed. Please go look this up. But right now you don't have to, because I gave you the information, and I'm trying to get you to understand how we think, how I think, and how we put this together. So now you have individuals that are like, why are you not doing this? Or why are you not doing that? They should come out and say we voted against not even being able to take the power away in the first place. That should be the answer. And honestly, there's nothing you can do about it. Now, keep in mind, I started this by simply saying that we are under two emergency acts, the one down at the border and the National Energy Emergency Act. And you have to understand that these acts already have laws and things of that nature. Executive orders can direct federal agencies within existing statutory authority. Now, within existing statutory authority, this means that you can push executive orders, but you can't go too far outside the lines. Now let's bring it to these Democrats and Republicans, because remember, I'm non-party affiliated and I'm asking you to do the exact same thing. But let's bring it to these Democrats and Republicans. Remember, I told y'all, none of the front runners are talking about whether or not Chuck Schumer lied. People are saying that he lied because he changed his mind. Changing your mind doesn't make you a liar. We have got to know, everybody knows that. Just because you change your mind does not make you a liar. It means you need to explain to us why you changed your mind, which he did. He said, hey, with this information right here, them saying that they would not turn the government back on because they have the House and the Senate. Hey, once you turn it off, the president has to turn the government back on. And you understand this. This is a fact that you have to understand. A government shutdown would likely impair the judicial branch, though its operations would not halt entirely. While the judiciary would not shut down completely, its effectiveness would degrade over time, especially in civil cases, public defense, and administrative functions. Who are the public that we're asking, y'all? Why are you not defending us? That's a good reason to keep the government open, because we need the judiciary branch to prove that checks and balances are supposed to work. That's how important it is. Because remember, the only part of representative democracy that citizens currently have is voting somebody in, crossing your fingers that they do the right thing, and going to sit down until it's time to vote again. That's it. But I'm pushing for legislative authority for citizens. This means that you will vote on legislation that affects the majority. Hello, Florida. Let's lead the way in progressive politics. Let's lead the way in progressive politics. Yes, I know that it could be problems. Here's one that's interesting. I don't know how many of you guys remember, but I spoke about Orange County having this 50% grading scale rule. I saw a young lady this morning, and she just got back off of spring break. She lives in Nevada. She received an email. Email states, hey, I see that you have students that do not have a 50% grade book. The young lady gets to explaining to us, the audience, they're talking about, one of the children they're talking about, I've only seen one time, and the child has done one assignment the entire year. One time, one assignment. And they are forced to give that child, who that lady only saw one time, a 50%. That's the same thing that Orange County, Florida does as well. And that lady she was like, I don't want to teach anymore. Guys, we do have problems. No one is denying that. And no one needs to deny that. But there is a solution. Now, something I'm seeing is the W word. War, war, war. We got to go to battle. We got to go to battle. Yet no one is providing the information. What is it that you want to see? I mean, that's got to be important. What is it that you want to see? You got to understand collaboration and understanding how this information works and how it's being brought together. There are already laws, rules, and regulations. Let's talk about it. Long-term shutdowns. They would get rid of staff. Jurors and court reporters may not be paid, potentially delaying trials. Bankruptcy courts, which rely heavily on filing fees, could face several disruptions. Federal defenders, public defenders, would see funding dry up, risking Sixth Amendment violations in criminal cases. The Supreme Court has reserved funds and would continue hearing cases, but administrative staff could be reduced. Essential versus non-essential services. Courts must balance constitutional duties, i.e. speedy trials, against funding lapse. I can't afford to always lose you because I can't put all this information in a 3-minute video. You got to expand. That's why I don't have a whole lot of bubbles and pop-ups and all of these things. I'm just pushing the data. Ladies and gentlemen, I joined the Navy at 17. And the day I got on the USS McCluskey, that was my first ship, FFG 41. Sometimes you never forget your first. So I get on the USS McCluskey, FFG 41, and you know what I'm expected to know? I'm expected to know everything. That was the standard. You will know everything. Welcome aboard. Time to get the learning. Here's your bed. Here's how this works. We were a steam engine ship at this time. And you're expected to know everything. And they never stop pushing information, no matter how boring it was. I'm 42 years old. I know that there are children, or we remember our childhood seeing C-SPAN and looking at it saying, this is horrible. Who wants to sit here all day looking at these old people talk? And we turned the TV off. We went outside. We went to go have a good time. Little did we know. Remember, I told y'all I was born in 1982 when they started the Interdepartmental Fund. This is where they started borrowing against Social Security. Little did we know that if I would have had a better attention span and a better understanding, and maybe had somebody say, hey, you need to sit down and pay attention, because those old people, the rules, regulations, and things they're talking about right now, they have an impact on your future. And right now, we have individuals that are saying that one of the biggest problems is the zombiness, that people cannot focus. Every time I look up at this time, and it's counting, and I'm at 9 minutes and 50 seconds. And I'm hoping and praying that people get to the end of the video just so I can get you the information. And I do wish that I could congest it. But I need you to, I can't. Every piece of data can't be congested. There is a lot of research and a lot of studying that goes into this so that I can speak fluently. So I need to know everything that I'm saying so that I can get it all out. But I do go back to my reference. I tell y'all, I keep my tablet available because I have my references written down. Because it's important to me that you know that I want to bring you truthful information. There was a good reason to not allow the government shutdown. But what was the alternative is what we're not hearing. We're just hearing Democrats argue about somebody not being strong enough for the moment. Well, put the information out, all of it. Because if the only thing that's slowing down hurting me is being able to bring up as much as you can to the courts, why would I want to limit the judiciary response? Why would I want to limit the only thing that is assisting me? Because you don't have the House. You don't have the House, and you barely have the Senate. And let's take it to the next level. We still have lobbying, and we have no rules against being dishonest. We have a Supreme Court that said that it is not a bribe if you get paid after. Lord, what are we doing? We need citizens to be able to be a part of the solution, because citizens are catching the brunt of the foolishness from both sides. And non-party just gives me an opportunity not to be fully affiliated with either party, but I am an American citizen, and I am concerned, as you should be. But this is where we learn to teach. And I'll tell you a little bit about myself, just so you know, if you even make it to the end of this. I was trained to understand how to put together problem solving. My 22 years was problem solving. There's a problem, solve it. And I trained those who came after me the same manner. Once I teach you, you teach them. Don't come to me. Don't have somebody who you taught come to me with a problem that they should already have a solution for, because I don't have time for problems that I know you should be able to solve on your own, because I taught the person who taught you. It took a little bit of time for people to understand that hey, I cannot go to him without making sure that I at least did my due diligence to read up on what my problem is. And this is something that I've never experienced and has never been seen before, because everyone has what we call standard operating procedures. Did you go through all of your SOPs before you came to speak to me? Is this something that is outside the scope of all of the publications that we have available to you? And is that why you're coming to me? Because that's important. Because there is an overarching understanding of how to manage all of these areas. I am not the master of all the areas. I know how to leverage individuals and have a good understanding of what's going on. That's what it takes to understand what's going on here. That's why I give a lot of kudos and a lot of credence to all of these individuals who are bringing this information to us so that we can understand. It is so important that we also take out the time to do our part so that we ask questions that align with the direction that we're trying to go, and not something that we don't understand. The main question everyone should be asking is, hey, why did you support Joint House Resolution 25? Why would you support that? So that you would concede authority. We're talking to the Republican Party. Why would you concede authority? To be able to walk this back and not give yourself an opportunity. Again, if you made it to the 1450 position in this video, That's a super good question to be asking if you're going to these town halls. Why would your representative vote for that? And go look and see if your representative voted for it. But I can tell you right now, the majority of the Republican Party, they voted for Joint House Resolution 25. Guarantee it. The Democrats, that was a really good strategy that they had to probably sit down and say, hey, what can we do? Here is our checks and balance. Here is our opportunity to put it in their hands. But it's enough to let us know what's going on. Because quite frankly, I don't think there should be a way that you don't have to tell the American citizens, oh, by the way, we're going to push or concede this authority or push it down for a year so that we don't even have the answer to it whatsoever. So I hope you've learned something, because I love being transparent and I love teaching and I love putting out information, because legislative authority means that much to me. And an informed majority is better than an informed minority. I promise you that. You guys have a great day.